I say love me, hold me, love me, hold me. Any old time. I said I'm free to do what I want.
Any old time, Danny.
Any old time. Free. Free.
Flag Day, baby. Flag Day. Free. Flag Day. 247th birthday of the United States Army. Happy birthday, Army. What's going on, everyone? What is up? What is up? What is up? Wow. I love that song. I'm so glad you found that song, Dan. That's a great song. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the KFIT Talk podcast. My name is John Koga. I'm here with my partner in crime, Dani K, coming at you live from Westminster, Maryland, from the Dani K Gym and Wellness.
Right.
We are at season 5, episode 11. This is a crowd favorite, a subscriber favorite. So if you have not yet subscribed, you need to do so. I got to fix my little hat, my little flag. We heart the flag. Today's Flag Day. Make sure you guys subscribe to our podcast across all podcast platforms. KFIT Talk behind me with John Koga, Dani K, and you can find it on all platforms. Dani's got it behind her as well. It's hard to believe. Season 5, episode 11. I think next week we change seasons. I think we're going to come up to season 6 next week.
All
we're
right.
pretty close to it, but I want to thank everybody that's been following this podcast, subscribing to this podcast, joining our lives across Facebook as well, so you guys can see how purty we look. All right, in person.
Whatever.
All right. And also, we want to thank our official sponsor, which is Sizzle International. SISEL. Sizzle standing for Science, Innovation, Success, Energy, and Longevity. Amazing products as I hold up my Super Omega Plus and Dani holds up her Frecoidin. We'll get to that stuff later. All right. We have probably the most, as far as I'm concerned, we've been doing this a long time. We got the best products you can put in your body and on your body. All right. All science-based, created by scientists in a 400,000 square foot plant in Provo, Utah. We'll get to that later. So, Dani, season 5, episode 11, Free Talk. Free Talk has been a crowd favorite of ours. You want to know why? Because we just let it go. We just, whatever we want to talk about, we talk about. All right?
We're free to talk about what we want.
Any old time. Talk about the amendments. What's the First Amendment, Dani?
Freedom of speech, baby.
Yo. All right. In the world we live in today, we need some more free talk. But also, let's not be ignorant about it. And we never are. We're open and always listening and to two sides of the story, as we like to say. All right. So you guys can, if you don't believe in all our opinion or our views, it's good. Just drop us a comment or a text and tell us what yours is and let us see why. All right. So that's what we love about free talk. We're able to just sit back, kick the willy bobo, as they say in prison. Not that I would know.
What?
Kicking the willy bobo. It's a prison term for just hanging out in the yard, just bullshit.
What the fuck is the willy bobo?
Don't ask no questions, and I hope you never have to go to find out. All right. So there's somebody out there that heard me just say kicking the willy bobo, and they literally just spit out their 40 because they were like, "How the f does John Koga know about kicking the willy bobo?"
Well, and if some of those guys knew about like the pants hanging down over their ass, if they knew what that meant in jail, they wouldn't be hanging the pants down over their ass. They'd be picking it up, wearing a belt or 2 or 3. Come on,
I had
do your research. Where did it originate? Do your research.
I had to pick my Jankos up too. My Jankos were sitting low below my boxers. No, I never did Jankos and boxers.
I was like, what the fuck is a Janko? Oh, is that a pant?
Pair of pants, yeah. All right, so listen, what's going on, everyone? We're having some fun as always, and it's been a crazy week. Haven't spoken to Dani pretty much all week, but we follow her on social media. I know she's got a story to tell today after what I saw, and it's like it's a touching one. It's a heart-wrenching one, but I'm finding the positive in it, man. And Dani's going to tell her story shortly, and then I'll tell you mine. But let me introduce her, guys. You guys that don't know Dani, you all know who she is. You guys love her to death. All right. If you don't, you're going to grow to love her probably within 5 minutes of this podcast. All right. I don't care what your political views are, what your workout views are, what your cooking view, whatever you're going to absolutely love. All right. Because you know we all do. Dani, what's going on at Dani K Gym and Wellness? Tell everybody a little bit about yourself. And then we're going to get into that. Man, that story. Oh,
Well, I was trying to show you my new addition, but you were like, I'm busy. I'm busy. I got me a salt lamp.
Nice.
I got 3 salt lamps. It came as a set. I was like, oh, you know what? This is what I'm gonna be doing. So I got one in my office. Turn it on when I'm, doing all this stuff. I'm gonna have one sitting out on the counter at the gym, and then I'm gonna have one in my bedroom. So it's like, let me just kind of run through it real quick. Where was it that I was looking at the benefits? So some of the benefits, if I can pull it up real quick. So it cleanses and deodorizes the air, reduces allergy and asthma symptoms, eases coughing, increase energy levels, neutralizes electromagnetic radiation. Now, I'm a big thing on that with my shungite, my EMF, and all that stuff.
Wow.
Right? Better sleep. That's why I'm going to have it in my bedroom. Plus, it's a nice little nightlight. Improve mood and concentration. Treat seasonal affective disorder. I don't know what the fuck that means. Maybe we can Google that and look into that. Yeah. Reduce static electricity in the air. Environmentally friendly light source. Okay, yeah, we knew that. Okay, so but yeah, so I mean there's a lot of great benefits, and that's just like 10 of them. The other day I looked and there was like these other 12, like, so there's so many different things to like pink Himalayan salt, like in general, like that actually, if you put it in your water or if you just use it on your food, pink Himalayan salt, it helps balance your pH levels.
Wow.
But then actually to have this, I mean, and this is actually real, like salt. Like I can feel like it's salt, like it's a real.
So now, will it dissipate and melt down as it time goes on and the light is on?
I don't know. Good question. It might. So yeah, I have to like research and find out like how often do you have to like replace. You
got all the same colors, or they're different colors?
They're all the same color because the pink it's the pink Himalayan salt, and it just kind of emits that.
Wow.
A friend of mine actually goes down to Salt Spa Works down in Bel Air, Maryland, and they have like a salt room where you just go in and like it's like pink Himalayan salt all over the walls and everything, and you just kind of like just sit in it and just kind of just kind of chill or whatever. But
my blood pressure will go through the roof just sitting in that room. Hold on, Dani. Before I go any further, when we get into the podcast, I want to make I had mentioned it while Dua Lipa was playing her song. Listen, today is Flag Day. All right, yeah. Flag Day. We're standing up as always. We always do. And it also happens to be the 247th birthday of our United States Army. So shout out to all our servicemen. But today, all of our Army men, female, whatever you identify as, we want to say happy birthday to our United States Army, the greatest army in the world, fighting so we can do these podcasts, Dani. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And it's also a full moon tonight, the strawberry full moon.
Wow.
And it's also somebody's birthday. It's got strawberry red hair.
Strawberry red hair is birthday. Who do we have? That's at your facility.
No. 4/10/20. Do you know what that rings a bell as? 4/10/20?
4/10/20. That when you smoke weed?
No. What's the fourth letter of the alphabet?
A, B, C, D.
What's the 10th? What did I say? 4/10. What's the 10th?
H-I-J.
What's the 20th?
I already lost the first one was. We got a J. We got a
Four,
DJ.
A DJ.
K? Dani? Who's not that your birth? GJ. I got to count up 10 from J. So we got J, K, L.
Well, let you know, P is 16.
S, T?
Yep.
DJT. DJT. Jenkintown Posse on the Goldbergs. No. DJT. D. All right,
Come on, man.
all right, hold on. DJT.
Opposite of come on, man.
Oh, 45, baby. Today's 45? Wow. All right. Happy birthday, 45.
Strawberry moon. Strawberry moon.
All right, good. You could have said orange man, but whatever. All right. On Flag Day. Wow, interesting, man. All right. Well, when's Uncle Joe? When Uncle we gotta shout out to Uncle Joe, and it's his birthday too. We gotta be fair. So when was he born? Like 1901, I think.
I don't think he remembers.
All right. Well, we got to be fair and consistent as we always are. So, all right, good. We got some birthday shout outs. We got Flag Day, which we always got to honor our flag, man. We always have to honor that flag.
I rep it every day, baby. I rep it every day.
Sure does. Danny, so and listen, guys, for those of you that don't follow Danny on social media, you should at Danny Knight, Danny K Gym and Wellness, and you can see what we're about to get into right now. I wanted to tell her story first because many of you know, or many of you guys probably believe this as well. As many of you know, that Danny's mom passed away a couple of years back, and Danny, there doesn't a second, a minute, a day that goes by that she doesn't do some kind of tribute or memory or thought or just come into her mind because of X, Y, and Z, a premonition, a cue, something. We're gonna get into it, and Danny frequently, I'm talking beyond frequently, has these red cardinals that come into Danny's life on a regular basis. And that is without question a sign from Danny's beautiful mom, Linda. Rest in peace, Linda. And we, for the past, years, we are always had to see Danny posting just cardinals landing in her backyard, or cardinals here, or walking Justice, her dog, seeing cardinals. But today was a little different. And it hurt me a little bit because you got down on yourself. And that really bothered me because that's not how I want to hear your interpretation to what happened today, Danny. And then I want to tell you, you're a positive. You're not going to say, but Danny, tell everybody what took place, because it really touched me. I'm not going to lie. It touched my heart. He's reading it.
So last night, driving home, I'm probably like a quarter mile from my house, and there's a car, a big truck in front of me, and I know the truck didn't hit it, but the truck went by, and it drew my attention down because it made the bird flutter. So I looked down, I was like, what the heck's that? And it's red. Like, oh my God, is that a red? And as I was passing by, I was like, that's a cardinal. And I was like, oh my God, is it okay? So I was like, nah, nope. If I don't turn around, I am not going to be like okay with myself. So I turned back around. I parked, sit my car on the road. I, put the flashers on. A couple of cars drive by. It's like, everything okay? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, actually one guy that I saw at the gas station, he stopped. He was the first one to stop, and I was like, do you have anything in your car, like I can, like in your truck, I can pick up the bird? And he's like nah. He's like looking around, he's like, nah, I don't. And so he he's like, good luck or whatever, and he drove off, right? So I was like, I don't know what the heck to do. So I picked up like 2 pine cones, and I was gonna try and like scoop the bird up, and he fluttered, and it scared the shit out of me. I was like, oh my God.
Guys, for those that know that Danny does not like flying objects and creepy,
my God, flying, creepy, crawly, like anything, like like it just it freaks me the fuck out. Yeah. So I was like, okay, well then I was like kind of scooting it along, and he was going, but like, man, what if I'm hurting him more? So I was like, and I'm like looking around, and I see this plastic, like the little, like the sandwich plastic container. Yeah. Sandwiches come in like a Rofo and all that stuff. Yeah. So I saw one sitting on the side. Thank you for littering, right? Thank you for being a litter bug today, because it helped me move a cardinal. Yeah. So I picked that up, and I scooped him in there, and I brought him over to the side of the grass, and he was just sitting there. And another car drove by, and he's, everything okay? And I was like, yeah, like cardinal, blah, blah, blah. And they were like, oh, and they drove off. And as I looked over, he had gotten himself out of the sandwich thing. And I was like, maybe he'll be okay. Like, and I went over, and he was just sitting there looking at me. And that was like the third picture that I took, where it's like the beautiful face, right? And then I was getting ready to get into my car, and the county sheriff car drove by, and he's like, hey, is everything okay? And I was like, yeah, just moving a cardinal, like blah, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, okay, just making sure everything's fine. And,
Oh, wow.
they drove off. So, didn't think anything of it, but, and then I'm just like, I'm sitting there thinking about this little guy, hoping that he's okay, hoping that he flies away, hoping that nobody gets to him and eats him and all this stuff. And just hoping maybe he was like stunned, just whatever. But so this morning, it's on my way to the gym, and I stop and I was like, let me look. And he was dead. And it broke my heart, And so like instantly, every time I see a cardinal, like you said, I always think it's my mom, or a sign from my mom. And every time I see a cardinal, I always say, hi, mom. And, so for me, I felt like maybe I was given a second chance, like, long story short, when my mom, passed away of cancer, like when she got diagnosed, like I just tried to do everything under my power, knowledge, nutrition, like just tried to educate myself to try and, figure out a way to, holistically, along with, the treatments that she was getting to just try and, prolong her life or help her, like beat cancer.
Yeah.
And the doctor gave her, a year with treatment. She lived 2.5 years, and they said it was, for her love of me and like wanting to,
Will.
like her will to live for me and stuff like that. And, so, but I was still like hopeful, even the day before she, passed, the day of her passing, like I was still hopeful that she was gonna, kick it. I mean, delusional, whatever it might be,
No, not delusional. I wouldn't say delusional.
And so then when I saw this, this cardinal, I was like, oh my God, maybe I got a second chance. Like I saved this, and maybe that's like my, my mom's way of showing, or whatever, the universe, God's way of showing that, I actually like did save my mom, and then it ended up dying. And so they kind of like, I know deep down in it's not, but on the surface, that's, your mind, just goes and goes into thoughts. And, in my thought, it's like I
Yeah.
couldn't help my mom, survive cancer, and I couldn't help this bird survive that. And, so it's like, okay, like, so I got a second chance at basically not killing someone, but you know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
not being able to protect or save. And, and I'm a protector, I'm a saver, I'm a fixer, and I got that from my mom, and when I can't fix, something, especially like someone that was, just so close to me, my mom was everything. My mom was the air in my lungs, my right arm, well, I should say my left arm because I'm left-handed, but the beat in my heart, like she was just my everything,
Yeah.
and to not be
Well,
able to save that, and then this time around not being able to save this cardinal, it's like, oh, but I know
so
deep down in it wasn't about that. But there's got to be something. I'm trying to, like, a couple of people like listed some really cool things about it, but just all in all, like I just want everybody to know, like I'm good. Like it's not, it's just like that passing thought. It's like, damn, I failed
yeah.
that one too, but deep down in, I know that I did everything that I could, just like with my mom at that point in time, I did everything that I could, but hindsight, we always look back and, if I would have known about this holistic approach or acupuncture or,
Yeah.
like this, this treatment, you know what I mean? Back then, maybe I could have saved her, but we all do that. And I feel like that's a part of, who someone is and showing their heart and their compassion, you know what I mean? Like if I didn't give it a second
Yeah.
thought, like that wouldn't be, so I beat myself up a little bit, but like all in all, I know that, I did everything that I could. And, but it's just that, damn it. You know what I mean? Like,
We love that you shared that with us, Dani. My interpretation was this after I read it. I was actually I almost felt like I was following a movie. Like, and all of a sudden we're going to get to the end and the bird flies away and beautiful. And
Right.
that's life. And Dani saved the world. And my interpretation of this, knowing how you are with signals with cardinals from your mom, is that I feel like your mom, of course, had something to do with this, but I interpret it as this, that your mom just reassured you and reconfirmed you that your mother is here with you in spirit, but not in flesh, Dani. So while, yes, and it gives me chills even saying that. So yes, and I know how my daughter Dani wants to save the world and all the lives she changes through fitness and the Dani K gym and wellness, but I kind of knew there was a predetermined outcome to this, where that if that I didn't get to it yet, but if that cardinal did pass, it was just like to bring you closer to your mom, but also to reassure you that, Dani, the flesh is meaningless. The flesh is meaningless. It's the spirit that is within you every single day. Okay. Yes, we get a little bitter toward not having the flesh here with us. I want my mom back. You want your mom here. But maybe it was a signal, it was a sign to say, Dani, this is who you are. This is who I raised you to be. I know you want to save the world. I know this meant more to you. Put mom on the side for a second just to save that bird's life. There was so many things that you could have said, oh my God, this was that. But guess what? Your mom is still not back. Okay. But you would have felt great about it. But it just reassures me and you that your mom is with you through the goods, the bads. The spirit of Linda is inside of you, but the flesh is not sitting next to you in your car. And I'm not to say it's okay, because it's not okay.
Right.
But it just makes all of us know that, once again, Linda Knight sent Dani that signal. But this time when she sent it, I feel like, it was tough. And then when I finally saw the outcome of it, I was like, oh shit, why couldn't this bird? I said, like, why the F couldn't Dani see the bird was gone, and we never would have knew of somebody ate it or it was just gone. It just
Right.
made its way out of there,
Yeah.
So I just want
and then a friend of mine sent, like, and I know this, like, I've researched it before, like when you see a dead bird, like laying on the road, you know what I mean? Like, just not one that, I didn't cause it, but, it's like the ending of something, but the beginning, like a new beginning.
Yes.
And so she sent me that little piece, and, so she's like, so this is, it might be the end of that, but, it's when something dies, something is born. So, she's like, so everything that you've been, wanting and hoping at this point in time and trying to be patient and relax about, like that next step in that one place of my life, maybe this is like a birth of it, you know what I mean?
I like that. I like that interpretation.
So
all
I
right,
was like, okay, cool.
So let's talk about my little pet, my little animal of nature that I had to encounter now. Okay. So, all right. So it seems to be that we're having a little bit of a field mice invasion over here. Okay. And I'm like, and the freaking things like literally this big, a little field mice. All right.
Right.
So all of a sudden I'm in the walk-in cellar, the wine cellar, the pantry there, and noticing that, like, wait a minute, what's the corner of this bag of like wheat thins or something? It's chewed open. I'm like, son of a bitch. And I see little droppings. I'm like, oh, you got it. Don't even tell me this. There's no way. Now there's woods behind there's whatever. So I'm like, there's no freaking way. It's that time of the year. It's summer, spring. They're all multiplying. They're coming out of whatever. I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm like, and now I don't, Dani, I won't kill. I could be sitting on the freaking turlet bowl. Yep, I said turlet bowl. And I can see a freaking spider crawling at my feet. And I got to scoop the spider up and bring him outside and put him on a branch. I don't kill anything. Okay.
Oh,
a few people I might not say that.
Oh, it will.
So
it will die.
So all of a sudden, I'm like, all right. So what am I going to do? We got to get some traps. Do I want the traps that just squish them and kill them? Nope, I definitely don't want that trap. Let me get the ones that are just kind of is like glue. It just kind of stop. They stand on it and they're stuck. So all of a sudden, I start hearing. I'm like, what the fuck? Francesca goes, Pop, I think that's a bird. I'm like, okay, babe. I'm like, all right. I think and I knew what it was. I didn't tell her about the mice, right? So all of a sudden, I'm like, today she had to go to school, whatever. She goes to school, mother takes her to school. I'm like, I go walking into the pantry, and there's that little son of a gun sitting stuck on this freaking trap, this mouse trap. He's glued down, and he's looking up at me, and I'm like, are you shitting me? I'm like, I was hoping there wasn't going to be any mice, right? I'm like, I got to now. He's not dead, obviously. He's crying. He's looking up at me crying, save me. All right, I got to get him. I got to take him outside. I got to let this little sucker go free, right? So I get it up, I pick it up, and I put it in a like a scooper thing, like a broom thing where you scoop shit in. I
Right,
put
right,
him in
right.
there. I go walk him out in the backyard. I take him out to where the woods are, right? And now I'm like, all right, I got to get him off. He's stuck. I see his tail is stuck in the glue, his feet. And now I'm like, I take a little stick. I don't want to hurt him. I take a little stick and I try to, I'm holding him on the trap. The trap is little. I'm holding my phone up, guy. If you have like an iPhone, guys, that's the size of the trap. And then the freaking mouse, I'm going to put, I don't know. The mouse was perfect. Here, the mouse is sitting. I'm holding something on top. That was the mouse, right? So I get a stick and I'm trying to like push him. I'm like, son of a bitch, this is like effing Gorilla Glue. This little son, and he's wincing every time. And his two little eyes are looking up at me. I'm going, are you fucking kidding me? How am now I got to get this little bastard off this thing. I got to set this guy free. I'm like, what the hell? So then, I'm like, I get a stick, something that was a little more flat, not as proby and pokey, and I'm pushing him, and his body's like sticking, and I'm like, son of a bitch. Next thing I see, the piece of the tail rips off. I'm like, are you shitting me? And I'm getting it. I'm pushing away. He's looking at me. He's still squealing. They say squeal like a freaking mice. Exactly. Then finally, I give one last prod, boom, and his parts of his claws were stuck to it. He falls on the dirt. I'm like, son of a bitch, am I torturing this guy? I couldn't just leave him to die like that. I couldn't, right? So sure enough, I look down at him. He's moving around. He's still moving around. He had some battle wounds from me trying to prop him off this freaking glue platform that he's stuck to. I was able to pick him up with another piece of stick, and I just kind of put him over the fence and just dropped him into the freaking. But I'm telling you this right now, unlike you, I'm not going back tomorrow to see if this little son of a gun died, okay? Because if nature wants to take it and survival of the fittest kicks in and Darwin and all that other bullshit, I did my job. I didn't want to kill this little son of a gun because he was looking up to me with those beady eyes and he was wincing, and I was like, that's it. And then I had to see your story, so it's kind of the tale of two different outcomes, but I was like, oh my God, I will not. Emphasis, will not go back in the woods tomorrow to see if this little guy's laying there. Anyway, we did our deed for the day, Danny. Good job. I couldn't kill him.
Janella's on. Hey, Janella. I think
What's
she
up?
was like pushing the little laughy faces.
She got a birthday coming up, so we got to wish her a little shout out. All right,
happy early birthday.
Graduated college. Good for her. Janella. You're doing great. Anyway, so anybody else out there got some stories to tell? Bring some weed. I got some story to tell, like Biggie said. So, Danny, what else is going on? That was I know it took up a little time, but it's meaningful to everybody that gets to know to see what you're about.
Yeah.
And all of our people that love you, I'm sure, are just like, you probably brought tears to their eyes, and it's crazy. But you'll see that next red cardinal. You definitely will see another.
Oh
one
yeah, yeah. I mean, and hopefully, like I said, like if it is, hopefully it's a sign of something new coming, and because
I have a couple ideas that I think I know what it could be, but let's leave it at that.
I've been patient enough. Like it's fucking time for Danny K to get hers. Come on.
Danny wants to go deep. Anyway, what's going on? What's going on with the members? Everybody's good. Everybody's feeling good.
Yeah.
What's going? Everybody's holding.
Everybody's good.
All right.
Good. New members, new clients. It's picking up, but
all right, cool. And guys, it's summertime. Really, get out there and enjoy yourself. Keep yourself moving. Get out there, be active. Let's talk about some fitness topics. Like right now, there are no excuses right now. We're still, pandemic's hopefully behind us, even though the numbers are, coming back up. But for the most part, we're out and about. You guys can get out. You guys can do your outdoor fitness right now. Go for those hikes. Go for the walk in the parks. Go to the football fields and walk the bleachers. All right.
Yeah.
You guys got to get out. You got to get out and do something, man. You have to get out and do something because there's no excuses right now. I don't care. I know listen, inflation, recession, we're in a crazy, terrible time right now, but there's no price that you can put on your health and your time. You can't get your health back. You can't get your time back. So if you're sitting on the couch trying to have a pity party for yourself, Pick yourself up and get out there. Go for a walk. Do something. You know, if you don't have the money because you're on hard times right now, like many of us are, fitness is free. Keeping yourself healthy for the most part on the activity and exercise side is free. You don't need a gym. You don't need to go out and buy equipment. You need to get out and move, Dani, right? Correct me if I'm wrong here,
Yeah.
right?
Shh, you don't need a gym. Shh, don't tell Danny K that, but
I
yeah.
understand that. But you
No, I
want
mean legit, like no matter what money is in your wallet right now, like
fitness is
fitness should
free,
not
man.
be, I mean, fitness should not be like a monetarily issue, you know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Shouldn't hold you back. Yeah.
definitely. I mean, there's school tracks, there's school bleachers, there's tracks around like the parks, and they're doing that everywhere. And
Videos, there's YouTube video. I know you have a phone. Believe me, I'm sure
yeah,
you have a phone. Log on and
yeah,
do a YouTube video.
yeah,
But stop making the excuses. Excuses are just that. An excuse is just an excuse. It really is, guys. And before you know it, between excuses and procrastinations, and I should be the one to talk. I should preach to the choir. Get that to-do list accomplished. If you're procrastinating a bunch of shit like I am, my to-do list is 20 deep. I swore to myself, I got to get on and I got to start chipping away at this to-do list, whether it's planting a bush or cutting whatever it is, but if it has to do, like, on Thursday, just so you guys know, on Thursday, I'm going to get you guys know that about a month and a half ago, my hips were freaking done. I said, I'm
right,
done. This is how it's ending. I'm done with Koga. My hips are shot. I couldn't even bend down to tie my shoe. I was a freaking hot shit show mess. I said, the Koga gig is up. I'm done. All right, great. Let me figure out what I got to do next. Okay. Started taking Renovator, my Sizzle Renovator. Hold on. I'm going to grab it. Started taking my Sizzle Renovator. I'm down to I'm into my second bottle, and here I am. I told you a couple of weeks ago I was about 80%. Now I'm about 90% better, all right? But I am going, just because I'm going to take precautionary measures, I'm going on Thursday to get a bilateral hip imaging done so I can see if there's any arthritis. And I'm going to get, my father died of brain cancer, so I'm going to get the brain scan just to keep things. And I got a little stomach issue that I'm a little concerned about too, so I'm going to get that checked. Otherwise, I would have procrastinated that. I would have put that shit off. Losing both parents to cancer, my father at 60 years old of brain cancer, my mother at 59 of lung cancer. Yeah, they led different lifestyles, but you know what? If there's something predisposed in I hope I don't have to eat these fucking words. Please, God, I shouldn't say effing God in the same sentence, but like, being able to procrastinate and putting these tests off and putting the blood work off, guys, you got to do it. That you just have to go get the shit done. Okay. And I don't have insurance. I don't have the money. Trust me. Let the state figure out how they're going to get paid. Go get your tests done. You have to get these tests done. You colonoscopies, endoscopies, your basic stress tests. Okay. You have to get it done. Don't procrastinate, because it could be a matter of life or death. Early detection on many things, especially the F and C word, can prolong your life. So don't go do what my parents did and prolong it and procrastinate it. So if that's on your to-do list, to go get a checkup, whether it's just a routine checkup for high blood pressure or whatever, not that that's just routine, but go get yourself checked out and don't procrastinate it. Because if people love you, if you have family, friends, kids, pets, whatever you have, you want to get this detected early, Dani. I mean, come on. We've seen it too many times over, Dani. People passing away in their 50s and 40s.
yep, yeah, without a doubt.
And I also feel like, and I know I'm going to let you speak, obviously. I saw a thing on the TV today. First mistake watching TV. It has to do with the long haul effects of other ailments that we get, whether it's flu-like symptoms from COVID, that they really are saying, the studies, and trust me, these tests are going to come out now in the next few years. Okay. How dangerous, whether it's the vaccine, whether it's COVID itself, let's talk about herd immunity, whatever the case may be. But they're starting to see now that, let's say every year you got the common cold, you got a sinus infection. They're saying now that if you had COVID, these things are getting magnified, and the symptoms are becoming that much worse because of this friggin' COVID virus that's might be living in many of our bodies. There, I know you have a different outlook on it, but I'm curious to know two things. One, I want to know reports on people that are not vaccinated, that live healthy lifestyles, go to the gym 3 to 4 days a week. I want to see reports on them. on antibodies. I want to see what the report. Nobody's showing us the reports on if you have a healthy lifestyle where you worked out on a regular basis, you ate, correctly. They're not giving us the report, Dani, on how important fitness is to this freaking right.
And they won't. And they won't.
That's true.
Not this administration. This administration will not give us the real deal. But once this movie ends, we will see the real deal. We will have all the information. I mean, and if you sometimes you have to like search and research, but on the CDC website, they have everything listed. They have everything listed, and then they hide it, and they say, "Well, it was on the website." Yeah, it was on the website, but you fucking hid it, and then nobody has the real information. I mean, and like letting Pfizer go 75 years before they put out certain things. Like, come on, like. If you haven't seen the writing on the wall yet, you're still asleep. I mean, it's just absolutely crazy. There's places to do a shit ton of research to find out like all this stuff, and see how much wool they've been pulling over our eyes and everything. But as far as I mean, any other time before this, like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, every time the flu and cold season would come up, they would give you instruction like all over the news and everything, doctors you would hear where they would give you, like work out, get your sleep, take your vitamins, eat healthy, all ways to combat the common cold and the flu,
Excellent point.
And then when this happened, they were like, no, shutting down the gyms. They don't want you healthy, shutting down everything.
Get vaccinated. Like, I
know. So it's like, nah, screw you. I mean, because you didn't want to talk about anything that would help prevent from getting just sick. You know what I mean? Like it is just absolutely ridiculous. And
what they should have did was they should have said, okay, guys, if you're a gym owner or a health club owner, we are going to we are going to subsidize and send you grants to keep your doors open, to keep people in there, to keep their immune system strong. That's the approach that should have been taken.
Well,
we want you to exercise. We need you to,
if they cared about like the human, I mean, they I don't know, me, depopulation and all this bullshit and the agenda that they had, the narrative, it just everything they did was to fit their narrative, not to make sense.
All calculated. And guys, this is our free talk episode. So, please, if you shut us off for right now, I'm sorry you had to, but this is us just kicking it back and forth, free talk. And I know we want to try to say a few things that maybe you guys, prior to this, Dani and myself kind of got a little hush because, you try to you can't make everybody happy, but, I don't want to lose somebody that needs our services because of, because I, whatever. I think that, we got railroaded when it came to the mandates and to the truth behind COVID, and to them not talking about and discussing the importance of fitness. And this is what Dani and myself dedicated our lives to doing. And now all of a sudden, come on, man,
And it's not to put anybody down or whatever. No. Again, it's an opinion, and there's a lot of research to back up what we're saying. Yeah. You just gotta do the research. But I mean, it's still all in all, like, no matter what anybody's thoughts or views or anything, it's just at the end of the day, we just want you healthy, and that's what I'm fighting for is the health. And at the end of the day, like that's really all that matters. I mean, whether my opinion, or what I'm saying is right, wrong, or indifferent. Basically, when it comes down to it, I'm fighting for freedom. I'm fighting for health. I'm fighting for just everything that matters in someone's life. And at the end of the day, like that's what you look at and try and take into that.
Yeah. And there's so many topics that are just hot topics right now today, whether it's gun control or abortion or freedom of speech. And after it's all said and done, you got to just kind of, it's so sad the shit that happened in Uvalde. And you know what? I got to tell you, I was never a big fan of Matthew McConaughey. I watched his speech that he gave, and the guy, and he's legit. He's born and raised in Uvalde, Texas, where that terrible, horrific, smash shooting took place. And he definitely resonated within me, and he made sense. And it's like, I think sometimes we kind of lose our common sense because we don't put ourselves in that particular situation. No, who wants to, put yourself in a situation where it's your only child that was murdered, or you, abortion or whatever. It's freedom of speech. You say something on social media and automatically, and I mean, that's meaningless. Social media is fucking meaningless. But I'm just saying, like, when your rights are infringed on, whether you're left, right, center, wherever the hell you are, you should be concerned. You really should be concerned. And I like to take the common sense approach, where I put myself in a situation, say, okay, what would John Koga do? What would I want, for me, my family, my friends? Some people don't believe in having guns and stuff like that in the house, but if you put yourself in a situation where if you're in one bedroom and somebody comes into the house to rob your house, and they have your wife and family tied up in a bedroom with a gun to their head, and you crack the door open, do you still believe in gun control? Or are you going to say, hey, can you excuse me? Can you please put that gun down and let my, fuck no. Yeah. You got a gun, you put a bullet right in the person's head.
Well, and the thing is, at the end, with all of that, and that's what freedom is, right? Freedom is for you to have an opinion and me to have an opinion, and for it to be okay to be different, right?
That's right.
And for me, like, I don't like guns. Guns scare the shit out of me. You know what I mean? Like,
it's your right.
But that's my right. But just because I'm scared of them, just because I don't like them, just because I wouldn't, necessarily have one, right, I would never take that right away from someone else. So I can have my opinion, you know what I mean? Like, and everybody doing everything, the right way. Now, at the end of the day, the criminals are the ones that are making from this, right? Because, the people that legally get guns, they're doing it legally. The criminals are not going to do it legally. So, whatever you want to do with the Second Amendment and take everybody's guns away, and that they only can have a BB gun or a slingshot, whatever the fuck you're going to let them have.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the criminals will still get this shit. They're not going to they're not going to follow the legalities of everything. So, you're taking the guns away, like you said. So the criminal has a gun coming in your house, and because, the Second Amendment, and they took your gun right away and all this stuff, you can't have a gun. Now you can't protect yourself.
Exactly right, man.
And you're not going to be able to talk to the criminal and say, hey, put your gun down, let's duke it out. That's not going to happen.
Danny, you're supposed to call up the hotline and let him speak. Let's talk him off. You got to get the phone. You got to speak to him. You got to treat him. You got to treat him correctly while he's got a gun to your family, to your 3-year-old's head.
He's a criminal. Once you've committed a crime, for me, my opinion, once you've committed a crime, you lose every right that you freaking had.
Great. Especially heinous crimes, And these are our opinions. Guys, you might have different opinions on this, and that's absolutely what Danny's talking about. That flag on her shirt and my hat and her freedom, her tattoos allows you to offers each and every one of us the opportunity to have. I just feel like, don't infringe on somebody else's. I'm certainly not going to infringe on somebody that believes in abortion the day of birthing. If that's your belief, who am I to say I would never do that? To a child, the day of their birth, you're going to abort it. That's my own opinion, and I'm entitled to that. And so it's yours to say that you would, but you can't chastise people, and you can't, And listen, guys, I got my blue chip player right here. I got a freaking beautiful lesbian here. Okay, that you want to talk about woke, and you want to talk about Pride Week and gay this and all that. I'm 1,000% supporter of it, but don't infringe on somebody else's, rights because you want to push your pride agenda, trans this, spend money on that, take it out of my paycheck. I don't want to hear that shit. This girl that I'm looking at right now on my live did it on her own. gay woman in America, and Danny will tell you, she switched parties, okay? And this
Well,
woman,
no,
you didn't switch. I'm sorry. I take that back.
I'm independent, but yeah,
Independent, yeah,
I switched
independent.
my party.
You switched a lot of your views, Danny, because okay, and that's why, Danny, I think when people hear that you're a gay woman in this country, you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, you're in the health profession, you know what I'm saying? It's hard to throw this bullshit rhetoric at you, Danny, okay? Because I can't say it, but if somebody says it, you can voice your opinion and speak on behalf of the facts that you had growing up as a gay woman in this country, correct? And you don't agree with everything that's gay, just like I don't agree with everything that's heterosexual.
Right.
You know?
I mean, I just don't believe in pushing any one agenda onto or any one thing onto someone, you know. I mean, you know, it's great. Okay, so we have a gay couple in a commercial, and we have a gay this, and we have a gay that. But you know, I'm almost to the point because I feel like they're pushing it on me, and I'm gay. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, God dang, like, do we have to see this one more damn time? Like, come on, man. You know, I mean, because what it is that then it does not bring us together. It still divides us, right? It's showing us differences, right? We all have difference. We all know that we're different. You know, you've got, you know, long hair. He's got short hair. You're taller, shorter, fatter, skinnier, you know, darker, whiter, like eyes colors, all that stuff. Everybody, we're all different, right? And we all have, you know, struggles. Some struggles are similar. Some struggles are different, completely different. Some struggles are harder than others. You know, but I don't identify. My identity is not a gay woman. That's part of who I am.
You're a human being, Dan.
I'm a human being with compassion and empathy, and you know, I am a business owner, and you know, and you know, I want freedom of everything. You know, when you were talking about
for everybody,
for everyone, you know what I mean? Even if I don't agree with that, you should still have the right to have your opinion or your thought or whatever. You know, like I am, you know, I mean, I'm pro-choice.
Good.
But to the fact that, you know, I mean, do I believe in it as a form of birth control? No. But if that's what you do, that gives me my freedom to choose, or our freedom to choose, gives you the right to overchoose, right? To use that as a form of birth control. So if you want to take that away, then you're going to take someone's choice away, right? So you know, I mean, right, wrong, or indifferent, you know, but hear me out. Like, so my thought on, you know, my pro-choice thought, would I do that, like, you know, like 8 months and, you know, like 8.5 months in, you know, or whatever? No, I wouldn't. But you know what? If we take that choice of that person
away,
if they chose to do that, if we take that away, then we're taking their choice away, just like we're pissy when our choices get taken away. So at the end of the day, let's look at this. If it's all about God and religion, and that's what, you know, so you know, like they want to bring religion in when it works for them, but they want to take it out when it don't, right?
I love the religion card. Yep.
So, you know, but if you think that it's all about religion, okay, but at the end of the day, if that person chose to have an abortion at 8.5 months, which I'm not saying is right, wrong, or different, I'm just saying, you know, then that's between God and that person, right? If someone chooses to use, you know, abortion as a form of birth control, I don't agree with that. But then again, you know, if I take their choice away, I'm taking my choice away from something else, right?
That's right.
You know, but that again is between them and God. At the end of the day, that's, you know, that's the judgment day that we all talk about, right? So, you know, your right to own a gun. I don't want to have a gun. I don't own a gun. I own Thelma and Louise. These are my guns right here. I don't need a permit for these motherfuckers, you know? But for me to say, you know, well, my opinion should be the right one, that takes your choice away. You know, I mean, so my choice is I don't own a gun. Your choice is you own a gun, but we should have the freedom to choose certain things. You know, I mean,
I don't know. I would definitely
it aggravates me when people are, you know, like, you know, and again, like they, some of the people that were, like, against, you know, the mandate of the vaccine, right? they're the ones that are against pro-choice. I'm like, do you hear what you're saying?
Yep.
So you want the choice to not take a
Yep.
vaccine, but you
Yep.
want to push that your pro-life or your non-choice
Yep.
on abortion to someone. So no. So if you want this choice, you
Can't
got to
have
be
it
able to
both
let
ways.
these people have their
Yep.
choice on this
Can't
topic, right?
Can't have it both ways, man. That's so good.
That's what freedom is about. That's
Yeah.
what freedom is about.
You know, a couple other current affairs before we wrap it up. Let's talk some other things that are in the news that are probably, like I said, you don't try not to care about the news, but you have to, because unfortunately, you know, this is how the message is conveyed to us. So this whole thing with the Supreme Court justices, this guy that tried to make an attempt to kill this Republican, you know, justice, you know, went there and they found him. Yeah, all right, he called him. And listen, I'm not putting mental health on the side, because mental health, as we both are very, very big believers in, we need to focus more money and more treatment and more fitness on people that are mentally incapable. All right, I'm big proponents of and advocates of supporting mental health awareness and getting people that need their treatment. But so I hate double standards, and I hate not for me but only for thee, whatever the hell is Satan's in. And this last, you know, and this listen, you're going to threaten anybody's life. I don't care. Listen, Danny, they're not coming standing and protecting your lawn and my lawn, because but I feel like the hypocrisy behind, do you realize that no CBS, NBC, and a couple of the other top news outlets, nobody devoted 1 second to this piece of, you know what, that was caught in the whatever justice it was. He was obviously a Republican conservative. I don't even care, because it goes both ways for me, that they didn't devote 1 second toward media attention to that. But you guys know as well, and you know what I'm going to say, you're probably already thinking it. If this was the other way around, and this was the let's just say Ruth Ginsburg, God rest her soul, I loved Ruth Bader Ginsburg. If this was Ruth Bader Ginsburg's house and somebody was caught, you know, this, you'd be in shackles. This guy would be the cover of and that's what drives me crazy. So the point that I'm trying to make is that, guys, depending on who your news source is, which I'm done with the freaking news. All right. Depending on what news source you're on, that big TV in your house, you're going to get different points and different narratives, whether it's on the committee because this is hot right now, a hot topic, the January 6th committee, whether it's telling us that one of these justices was somebody went out to murder plot him. It should drive you crazy. It should bother you. Maybe not drive you crazy. It should bother you that if you thought about it, if the tables were turned and it was on the other side, how would you react to it? And that's how you got to start living your lives. You got to ask yourself, if this, I don't like chocolate, I like vanilla. If this happened to vanilla, if I don't like vanilla, how would you feel? And it goes back to our very first topic in the beginning, where how would you feel if it was done to you? If you put yourself in that person's shoes, that family's shoes, what would you want for you? And if you can't look yourself in the mirror and say, you know what, there might be some truth to this, that it's just not right. No matter what party you belong to, it should be fair and consistent to each and every one of us, whether I'm a judge or whether I'm a homeless guy living on the fucking street. Nobody should have the right to want to kill that person, okay? And all of a sudden it gets suppressed by the media. It drives me crazy, Danny. But the part that sucks, and I'm done, is that I don't see any relief in sight. I'm going to be an optimist. I'm going to say yes. All the polarization is going to be pulled toward the center. I'm going to pray, and I really do, because I lost friends over this, family, not so many family members, but friends that I knew for many, many years. Don't speak to them anymore, and it shouldn't be like that. It should not be like that. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for you know, listening to our free talk, listening to me babble on. If you believe in my views, great. If not, that's okay too. But we want you to tell. I'm here to tell you the closing takeaway from this is that, guys, it's Flag Day. It's the United States Army's 247th birthday, and we need to be respectful and cognizant of it as to why we have the freedoms we have, because the men, women, and whatever you identify as are doing this so we can have these podcasts, we can have these adult conversations, and we can choose. So with the freedom of choice, the freedom of speech, and the freedom to bear arms are three things that you should hope never get infringed upon. I love you guys. One Koga love. I'm out. Peace. Danny, take it away.
All right. John said it all. Like,
Man.
So, you know, just think, you know, you don't want your choice to be taken away. So try not to take someone else's choice away. At the end of the day, it's all about Judgment Day with God and that person. And just be kind and help someone out.
Be kind. Yep.
Spread the love. Be kind. And until next time, y'all, stay in tune, stay informed, stay motivated.
And you know what? One last thing. You know, the saying, somebody had a shirt on the other day. It was a great shirt. Speaking of kind, it said the word human and kind. And you know what it said underneath the word? Be both. Be both. Human and kind. Make sure you guys subscribe on all social media platforms. And more importantly, go subscribe to that podcast, KFIT Talk. It's free. It's free. It's free. It's in your budget, Danny. It's free.
$3.99.
That was a good one. Little draining, but that was a good one. A lot of emotion in that one today, Danny. Guys, make sure you share this live across your pages. Show your family and friends what crazy friends you have here.
Smash the subscribe button.
Push. All right, guys, we love you guys. If you guys want information on Sizzle products, reach out to Danny and myself. All right, we got you. We got you. God bless you.